In the heart of the savannah, a father lion's life hung by a coiled. His cub ran for a miracle. The sun blazed over the golden African savannah, painting the grasslands in shimmering waves of heat. Near a grove of acacia trees, Leo, a mighty male lion and protector of his pride, was resting under the shade, keeping a watchful eye on his playful cub. Simba, the air was thick with the scent of dry grass and warm earth, a familiar comfort to the lions who called this vast wilderness home. Leo's golden mane ruffled gently in the breeze as he watched Simba pounce on grasshoppers and chase his own tail. The cub's antics brought a rumbling purr of amusement from the great lion's chest. It was a peaceful afternoon, like countless others they had shared in this sun-drenched paradise. Suddenly, the tranquility of the moment shattered like glass. From the tall grass, a massive python lunged silently, its scales glinting in the harsh sunlight. With frightening speed, it coiled around Leo's powerful body. The lion roared in shock and rage, his deep voice echoing across the savannah. Dust and dry leaves flew into the air as the two predators struggled in a deadly dance. Leo's muscles bulged as he thrashed against the crushing grip of the snake. His claws tore at the ground, leaving deep furrows in the parched earth. The python's coils tightened with each movement, slowly squeezing the life from the mighty lion. It was a battle of titans played out under the unforgiving African sun. Simba, no bigger than a house cat, froze for a moment, his heart pounding like a drum in his tiny chest. He had never seen his father in danger before. Leo had always been an invincible figure in the cub's eyes, a force of nature as constant as the rising sun. Now that illusion was crumbling before him. Leo's roars grew weaker under the tightening coils. His eyes, once fierce and proud, now held a glimmer of fear. Simba's instincts screamed at him to run, to hide, to save himself. But something deeper, a courage he didn't know he possessed, took hold of the little cub. Realizing that he could not fight the snake, Simba did the only thing he could. He ran for help. His small paws kicked up puffs of dust as he bounded across the savannah, his heart racing faster than his legs. The world blurred around him, a golden haze of grass and sky. He had no plan, no destination in mind. He only knew that he had to find someone, anyone, who could save his father. As fate would have it, Simba spotted a wildlife ranger's jeep in the distance. The vehicle stood out starkly against the natural landscape, a symbol of human presence in this wild realm. The ranger, Jack Thompson, had been monitoring the pride for weeks as part of a conservation effort. He knew every lion by sight and had watched Simba grow from a newborn into the adventurous cub he was now. When Jack saw the tiny cub racing toward him, yelping and pawing the ground desperately, he knew something was terribly wrong. Simba's eyes were wide with panic, his small body trembling with exhaustion and fear. Jack's years of experience told him that this was no ordinary behavior for a lion cub. "Easy, little guy," he murmured, his voice low and soothing. He knelt down, holding out a hand to the frightened cub. Simba circled him anxiously, then darted back the way he had come. Jack didn't hesitate, grabbed his gear and followed the cub as it led him into the tall grass. The savannah grass whipped at Jack's legs as he jogged after Simba. The cub moved with surprising speed, driven by desperation. Jack's mind raced through possibilities of what could have happened. An injury? A poacher's trap? Nothing could have prepared him for what he was about to see. Moments later, Jack's eyes widened in shock and disbelief. Leo, the majestic king of the pride, was pinned to the ground. The python was wrapped tightly around his chest and neck, its muscular coils squeezing relentlessly. Jack had seen many things in his years as a ranger, but this was a sight that would stay with him forever. Time seemed to stand still as Jack assessed the situation. He knew that interfering in nature's course was generally against protocol. But the pleading eyes of the cub at his feet and the weakening struggles of the lion stirred something in him. He couldn't stand by and watch this magnificent creature die. Without hesitation, Jack grabbed a sturdy stick from the jeep. His heart pounded in his chest as he approached the entangled predators cautiously. The python's head swayed back and forth, its forked tongue flicking out to taste the air. Jack knew he had to act fast. He shouted, his voice booming across the savannah. The sudden noise startled the python, causing it to loosen its grip slightly as it turned its head toward the new threat. Jack circled behind the snake, looking for an opening. Sweat beaded on his forehead, both from the heat and the intensity of the moment. Seizing the opportunity, Jack jabbed at the python with the stick, aiming to force its coils apart. The snake hissed angrily, its scales rasping against Leo's fur. Jack pried and prodded, his muscles straining with the effort. Every second felt like an eternity as he fought to free the lion. Leo, sensing the change in his situation, gathered his remaining strength. With a final roar of defiance that seemed to shake the very ground, the mighty lion heaved his massive body. The python's grip, already weakened by Jack's efforts, finally broke. In a flash of scales and fur, the two beasts separated. The python, realizing it had lost its prey, retreated into the grass. It disappeared as swiftly as it had appeared, leaving behind only trampled grass and a cloud of dust to mark its passing. Panting heavily, Leo collapsed on his side. His golden coat was matted with sweat and dirt, his chest heaving as he gulped in precious air. Simba, who had watched the entire ordeal with wide, frightened eyes, cautiously approached his father. The cub nuzzled Leo's face, trembling but overjoyed to see him alive. Jack kept a cautious distance, his heart still racing from the adrenaline. He watched as Leo slowly regained his strength, licking Simba's head gently to reassure the frightened cub. The ranger knew he had just witnessed something extraordinary, a rare moment of trust between man and nature, a bridge across the divide that usually separated their worlds. As Jack backed away, leaving the lions to recover in peace, he couldn't help but smile. He had come to Africa to study and protect these magnificent creatures, but he never expected to play such a direct role in saving one. It was a moment that would stay with him forever, a reminder of the unexpected connections that could form in the wild. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and purple, the savannah returned to its usual calm. The day's drama faded into memory, becoming just another story in the endless cycle of life and death that played out on these plains. Leo and Simba lay together under the acacia trees, their silhouettes stark against the twilight sky. The little cub snuggled against his father's warm flank, feeling safe and protected once more. Leo's gentle purrs rumbled through his chest, a soothing lullaby for his brave son. Though Simba was still small, barely more than a ball of fur with oversized paws, he had shown a heart as brave as any lion king. In the face of danger, he had not faltered. Instead, he had found courage he didn't know he possessed, running across the savannah to save his father. As the stars began to twinkle in the darkening sky, Leo looked down at his sleeping cub with pride. He knew that one day Simba would grow into a mighty lion, strong and fearless. But more importantly, he would be compassionate and resourceful, qualities that would serve him well as a future leader of the pride. The night settled over the savannah like a velvet blanket, bringing with it the chorus of nocturnal creatures. Hyenas cackled in the distance, and owls hooted softly from the trees. But here, in this small patch of safety, father and son slept peacefully, their bond stronger than ever after the day's harrowing adventure. And so, another day ended in the great circle of life on the African savannah. A day that had begun with danger and fear had transformed into a testament to the power of courage, compassion, and the unexpected alliances that can form in the wild. As the moon rose high in the sky, casting a silver glow over the sleeping lions, it seemed to smile down on this small miracle in the heart of the wilderness,